Hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Disasters with Anna. I have my glasses on today, so I know there'll be like a little bit of glare when you're looking at me. I feel like I just have to keep looking sideways. But my contacts would not fit into my eyes today. It's been one of those kind of days, craziness. So it is Anna in glasses today. But so happy Friday, everybody. I am so relieved it's Friday. And we are making a Thanksgiving or holiday dish themed or a themed dish today. It is a butternut squash stuffing. I've never made stuffing before. And I am really hoping that this recipe is going to be well worth the effort, because let me tell you, I have a newfound respect for all of my family members who have ever hosted Thanksgiving or ever hosted Christmas and made all these dishes from scratch. I just have so much respect for all of you. I'm thinking particularly of my grandpa Jake, Vaughn, my mom, my grandmother. Oh man, this cooking, this holiday cooking takes a lot of work. So I guess we can just jump right into it. Another thing I've kind of been realizing, as I've been prepping for this recipe is that hi Mary, hey, is that as we get into more complicated recipes, especially recipes that take like a long cook time, long bake time, I've been thinking, okay, maybe I'm not going to be live for the whole thing, because now that I have my blog, disasterswithanna.com, so if you haven't checked that out, please go take a look. Now that I've got the blog, it's an easy way to kind of follow along what some of those maybe last really long steps and recipes are. So I'm thinking that's what we might have to do today. It's a lot of prep work just to kind of get this stuffing ready to go in the oven. And then once it's in the oven, it's in there for like 30, 40 minutes. And while I am happy to chat, if people want to hang out and stay in the chat and, talk it up, take shots, drink to Friday, whatever. Well, I am happy to entertain that. I'm also like, okay, maybe people don't want to hang out for 30 minutes of baking when I can post it on my blog and you can go take a look at the final product, shortly after. So we might just kind of do all the beginning steps, and then you'll have to go to my blog to see, or my Instagram, Disasters with Anna, or maybe even my TikTok, Disasters with Anna P for Peischer, to see the final product. I don't know. We'll see. This is probably, I feel like recipes have just been getting more and more complicated. They are keeping me on my toes, let me tell you. And this is no exception. So, hi, Manette. Hello, hi, Kyle. And just to reiterate to everybody, I said this at the beginning, but I'm wearing my glasses today. I know there's a really bad glare. I kind of just can't help it. My contacts would not stay in my eyes. It's just that kind of day. Everything's freaking out. I don't know. So it's glasses. It's glasses today. It's glasses and straight hair. Woo! Yay! And one of my favorite like holiday-ish shirts. I feel like this is all the colors of Thanksgiving, and I love it. I love it for this season. So, okay, now, okay, we do have a drink to make as well, because I had to get a bunch of fresh herbs for this recipe. Now, these are 2 herbs I haven't featured yet on Disasters with Anna. So next week, I just might do another like herb series. I've got fresh sage here and fresh thyme, and oh my gosh, especially the thyme, it's so fragrant, and I'm really, oh my god, with the sage too. Smells so good. Hi, Laura. Hey. So I was like, we need to make a cocktail with these, of course. So we're gonna do a like gin, thyme, lemon kind of spritzer thing. And I'm really, really excited about it. So now, again, I know that it's been a tough day for a lot of people. So we can make the drink first. You know, we can make the drink first, or we can start cooking. I think either way, I'm gonna need a glass of wine. But yeah, I guess we better get started with this recipe, huh? Man. Now, okay. I was talking about this earlier. Drink first, drink first. Okay, cool. This is the encouragement I was looking for. Thank you. And I already have a lot of my chopping done. I'm actually quite prepared today, you know, before my contacts decided to just like hop out of my eyes. God. Whatever. You can't control everything. Okay. Let's make this cocktail. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm very excited about this. Very excited. Okay, so I have a small amount of gin left. Now, as I said at the beginning of Disasters with Anna, you know, gin was not, you know, my thing, but it has become my thing. It has. Oh, also, because I really, really love this shirt, we're gonna put an apron on. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. My Bakugo apron. He looks so angry. This is the mood today. This is the mood. Yep, Bakugo knows what's up. About to burn somebody to a crisp. Yep, he knows. He knows. Okay. All right. I can see that while I'm laughing and smiling. Okay, let me move all these ingredients. I've got so many like half prepped ingredients just like hanging out here. Yeah, it's crazy. I think I have been doing things to get ready for this recipe almost all day. This is a very involved recipe, so I can really understand why people buy boxed stuffing. I get it. I get it. I mean, you know, maybe I shouldn't say that because like here I am being like, make your own at home. But like, whoa, this is an investment of time, ingredients, effort, you know, of of time. Ooh, that was bad. That was very cheesy. It was very cheesy, but I had to. Okay. All right. Let's make this cocktail, shall we? All right, gin. I really like. Let me see if I can turn around the right way here. Bombay Sapphire. So. Oh, hold on a second. Also, apparently my dishwasher did not get this stuff as clean as I wanted it to be. You know what? Shit happens. Okay, so we're gonna do 1.5 ounce of gin, which is about a shot's worth. Oh, and this drink, I'm totally winging it. I don't know. I just was like, yeah, these ingredients sound good together. Why not? Also, now, okay, I think the elderflower liqueur could be optional. I just have it, and it's so yummy and pretty, and I'm like, let's throw it in there. Let's do it. Okay. Well, I'm putting, let's see, actually, I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce. You can see, you know, we can add more if we're feeling like it. Okay, then I have my own homemade simple syrup here. The recipe for simple syrup, I don't think it's not up on my blog yet, but it is a like short 5-minute video on my YouTube. So if you'd like to go check out a video of how to make your own simple syrup, it is a very easy, simple process. Really, like it really adds a lot to your cocktails. And it's like simple syrup for like a tiny bottle. Like I feel like half this much. It's like $10 at the store. And all this is sugar and water. Just the right process. So, in my opinion, it's very much worth like taking the time to make your own. Yeah. One thing I did find out recently with simple syrup was that you do have to put it in the fridge if you're not gonna like use it right away. I guess in the summer I was making a lot more drinks with simple syrup in the summer. I've been making like kind of heavier, creamier drinks now that we're into the colder seasons in the Northeast. And I'm not using simple syrup quite as much. So if I'm not using it up like right away, I was like, oh, okay, I actually have to refrigerate it. If you're using it pretty quickly, it's like, no, you don't have to worry about it. You can keep it at room temperature. Okay. All right. I had to cut a cute little lemon slice to actually put on, put on our little like drink holder. I mean, obviously all of you are seeing this, but nobody else is seeing this in person but me. But I mean, it's so cute, right? Gotta do those little things for yourself. You have to. Or I have to. I encourage others to do so. Okay, so I'm taking about half a lemon and I'm gonna squeeze it out. We'll see how this goes. I feel like I always end up getting it all over myself. So far in here I have gin. I have, let's see, 1.5 ounces of gin, about 3/4 of an ounce of, thanks, Laura. Isn't that glass so pretty? 3/4 of an ounce. Ooh, I just need 2 hands. I am squeezing really, really hard. Harder. 3/4 of an ounce of, what am I saying? Elderflower liqueur, Saint Germain. I'm squeezing about half a lemon into here. I did about 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Yeah, that's about it. Yep. Okay, I'm also gonna just cut like a cute little. I'm gonna cut a cute little slice just to have floating in my drink too. I don't know. I think that's why I love like sangrias and punches and stuff like that. I'm like, no, don't take the fruit out. I want it all in, all in. It's great. Then you have like alcohol infused fruit to eat after your drink is done. Like it's the drink that just keeps giving back. Sounds good to me. Sign me up. Okay. All right. Just squeezing we're squeezing this lemon to death. Squeezing the very last bit out of it. Hopefully it's not like, watch this drink just be like, literally like a lemon pucker then, I like squeeze so much lemon juice into it. Ooh, it smells good. It smells really good. Okay, so I'm gonna take an ice cube. Okay, take an ice cube, put it into my shaker. Then I'm gonna take, I guess I'll just take, this is a pretty small glass. So pretty. I'm just gonna put like 2 ice cubes in the glass. And then, yeah, let's shake this up. One thing I actually, if I do a second drink, one thing I was thinking about trying, I think like, I think there was one episode I did the classic gin fizz. I think that's what I did with like the soup. It's like lentil soup. I think it's like episode 7. That was a really cool episode because the drink and the soup just turned out like fantastic. But shaking it up. I'm gonna shake it up. You want to shake it up until you want to try to get that ice cube like all broken up into like tiny bits. Gotta really shake it up for that to happen. Okay. Ooh. One more thing we need. You can use tonic, you can use club soda, I really like just seltzer water. Your choice. Okay. Oh, anyway, so the classic gin fizz, though, you shake it up with an egg white, and it gets so like white and foamy and frothy. It's so good. It's so good. So, ooh, this smells interesting for sure. Anyway, I was wondering, I'm like, how would all of this be? Oh, wait. Oh my God. Oh, what am I doing? I'm forgetting the whole point of this drink. I'm getting like way too excited about it. Also, I'm just excited you guys are here. I miss all of you. I mean, well, maybe, who knows? Maybe there's people in the maybe there's people watching that I don't know, but you know, for everyone that I do know, I miss you guys. But okay, I forgot to add the thyme in. Hello. That's the whole point. I was just like, I'm gonna make this because I have time. Okay, well, here we go. So we're gonna reshake this with a little bit of thyme in here. I'm gonna just take a couple, like maybe, I don't know. It smells so I have not worked with thyme before. It smells so fragrant that I'm assuming I don't need much. I don't know. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this again. Shake it up a little bit, and then we'll put some thyme in the actual glass. Just make it pretty. Okay. I can get it open. Okay. And you know what? I am going to need the strainer now. Because all the little thyme chunks. Okay, so let's see here. Let's just kind of take a look at this. So, back we go. Cool. Just strain this. Ooh, well, we still got a little bit of thyme chunks in there. That's okay. I think it looks kind of, again, I think it looks kind of cool. You could always use, you know, like a sifter or something to strain this in if you want to. Ooh, look at this. I'll just do that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Ooh. Okay. Pour some seltzer in. I really hope this tastes as good as it looks because it looks really cool. These have a habit of exploding on me. Okay. Okay, drink is done. I don't know about this. Okay, now one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my little fancy stir, and I'm going to just give this a stir because I can see that all the lemon stuff is on the bottom. So, you know. There we go. Okay. Well, cheers, everyone. Happy Friday. We've made it to Friday. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's delicious. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. Thank you for being here with me. We've made it to Friday. I know a couple of people have had a tough day, tough week, but we're here. I'm dropping things all over the place already. Okay, let's just put this stuff off to the side. We can come back. We can come back we can make another drink later. I think you know what? I think I am going to try it with an egg white. I think so. I think it would be great with an egg white. So yeah, we can do that later. Cool. And then I'll add a cute little lemon slice. See, look, it's got a little lemon slice floating in it. Some cute thyme. Look at that. Really simple too. Like not a lot of ingredients. Cheers. You're on your iPad and it's so fucking stupid. What? Why? Why, Minette? Why? I'm so happy. I I preemptively bought a lemon, being like, you know what? I don't know what drink I'm gonna make this week, and I better just have like a lemon and lime kind of sitting around because I just tend to use them like all the time in drinks and stuff now. And I'm so glad I did because I didn't think about it till today. And I was like, oh my God, what are we drinking? What are we drinking? That's a very important question on Friday. I had some, okay, all right. No, we got to do some chopping. Got to do some chopping. I don't like it any more than any of you do, but okay, first I want to explain a little bit of the process of what has happened, as we all sip our drinks and continue to cheer one another. I'd like to explain a little bit of the process of like the early prep steps of what has happened to make this stuffing possible today. So after a sip of my drink. Okay, so the main prep things that you have to do for this recipe is if you are using like a fresh loaf of bread, excuse me. Now I saw tons of kind of already pre-made stuffing like at the bakery and stuff. I just wanted to make mine myself so I could kind of know what's up with it, right? I got a fresh loaf of bread, Italian bread, and there are two options that I was reading about for making stuffing. Remember, this is a totally new recipe to me, so I'm kind of learning as we go too. So this is a fresh loaf of Italian bread. I read recipes that used a multigrain, sourdough, even I saw a loaf of bread that was a rosemary olive oil loaf. And I was like, ooh, that'd be fantastic in stuffing. But I just wanted to start with the basics. So this is plain Italian bread. Now, this bread is cut up into small little chunks. You can kind of see the chunks here. About 1 inch by 1 inch chunks, basically. And then I put my oven on basically like the lowest setting, like 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and baked this for about 20 minutes. If you don't want to do that ahead of time, another thing you can do is cut your bread into kind of these small chunks and then just leave it out overnight. So this is pretty crunchy now. Some of the pieces still have like a little bit of give to them, which I thought like, okay, maybe I'll like that, again, flying blind here. But yeah, just about 20-25 minutes at 200 degrees. So then I took that out. The other thing is, so after making, what I used butternut squash recently for something, didn't I? Pumpkin butternut squash soup. That's what it was. So, and as maybe a few of you saw, I also went in blind, not really knowing what to do with butternut squash. And it wasn't, I had already cut up the butternut squash before I was like, oh, wait, don't I have to peel this? Uh-oh. So that was a total pain. The YouTube platform is not optimized for iPad. Ugh, that sucks. I'm sorry. So I learned my lesson. This time. I started off with butternut squash. I researched this a little bit. And so what I did is I just took the whole butternut squash, put it on a pan, and put it in the oven on 400 degrees for like 15 minutes. It's softened. You can see it's just a little bit soft, like how it's like a little darker there. It softened it up enough that I could cut it in half long ways. A lot easier. And then, so this is the chunk I haven't done anything to, so I could show you. This is the chunk that is ready to chop up into cubes and put on a baking sheet and put in the oven while we get the rest of the stuffing stuff ready. Stuffing stuff. Stuffing ingredients ready. So what I have done here is I scooped out the middle and then I peeled the sides. It's pretty well peeled now. I might have missed a spot or two that I'll have to go back over. But yeah, so those are the like prep steps you need to think about: the bread for the stuffing and the squash for this particular stuffing recipe. I thought I love the taste of butternut squash, and I thought that squash would be a great kind of flavor addition to stuffing, especially with like making it vegan. I thought it would really give it a lot of substance. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Mary, our Thanksgiving expert, our Thanksgiving vegan cooking food expert is in the house today. So let's hope this turns out well. But all right, so what we're gonna do right now, what I'm gonna do is just finish basically prepping my butternut squash to go in the oven. So I'm gonna just take a spoon and scoop out the center here. I guess I could have brought the trash can over to me, but what fun is that? Also, these seeds just go everywhere. That is a pain. I feel like squash is so inexpensive, but I can see why. It's so much work. Like, it is a lot of work to get squash ready to just like actually eat. It's a lot of work. So here we go. All cored. Then, so I have my peeler, and I'm gonna just start peeling off chunks. The skin. I'm just really taking that top layer off. I'm not doing any more than just like, basically like one swipe. But I can tell you, throwing stuff. I can tell you it is way, way easier to do this after having baked it for just the 15 minutes. So much easier than when I was trying to peel it completely uncooked. It was so difficult. I think I ended up just kind of saying like, fuck it. And I think I ended up like literally just taking my knife and like chopping some of it off. But then I wasted a bunch of it. But yeah, I think this butternut squash literally only cost me like $1.50. So, if you're cooking on a budget right now, different types of squashes are, might be the way to go. They are cheap. Just, just takes a lot of work. Because, of course, I saw that there was butternut squash there that was already like cubed and chopped up, and I was like, oh, so tempting. That would be so easy. That'd make my life just like a lot simpler. I was like, no, Anna, you gotta do it from scratch. Just because I would like to get, and no shame to anyone who gets those. No shame at all. I can completely understand. But I would just like to get a little bit more comfortable with, baking and cooking, squash. So I feel like I've got an idea of what I'm doing. So that's what this is all about, isn't it? Aw, Mary. Yeah, of course. You deserve a shout out. My God. Mary sent me. So my friend Mary is a vegan. And she sent me like at least like 4 pages worth, at least. But no, it's more than that. Of I was just like, hey, so do you have any Thanksgiving recipes you really like? Trying to get some ideas for vegan stuff. What do you like to make? And I was totally expecting like, oh, maybe I'll get like, 1 or 2 dishes, get an idea. And instead, I got pages of recipes, which was fantastic. And then I got like these pictures of recipes that she's made like 4 Thanksgivings in the past too. And I was just like, wow, I'm so impressed. It definitely not just like not a vegan Thanksgiving where it's like, we're just going to have some tofurkey and call it a day. No, these were lavish. So some lavish vegan meals here. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is, so our butternut squash is peeled, it's cored, and I'm cutting it into little like rounds like this, and then I'm going to cut that into cubes. So that is the noise you are hearing at the moment. And once all this is done, then we can actually get to the rest of the recipe. Yeah, but yeah, this is, oof. Again, so much respect for everyone who, you know, has just done like home cooking for holidays before. I'm like, wow. Can you imagine how this would have been when like people didn't have the convenience of like conventional ovens and stuff? Like, oh, I can't imagine. You like to eat? Yes. I should just put like eating as one of my hobbies. For real. I mean, I feel like it's like, you know, I don't think I've ever had any close friends who are not foodies. I don't think so. I mean, what would we talk about? Who knows? Who knows what we'd even talk about? Oops. Okay. Again, you know, I was running out of time. The butternut squash was something I was like, oh, I would not mind getting some of this chopped ahead of time, but you know, it's also part of the learning curve, though, talking about it, because I didn't know what I was doing with butternut squash. I don't know. I've cooked acorn squash before, but again, even when I'm like looking back on that, I'm like, I don't think I was doing it right, because this would have made my life so much easier. I think I was like, I didn't soften it or anything before I chopped into it. And I remember it being like really hard to just like handle or know what to do with. Yeah, I did not know what I was doing. Oh, let's preheat the oven. Preheat the oven to, let's do 400 degrees. Get that started. So we're chopping this up. Things are flying. Things are flying. Ah! Well, I know I've already spoken with a few of you today, but how is everybody? It's well, it's a little after 5:30, so hopefully everybody should be wrapping up work. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Also, I have some very, very excited, I have some very exciting shout out information today. I'm super, super excited. Super excited. Okay, almost have one half of the butternut squash chopped up. This really is a labor of love recipe. It really, really is. I think this might even be more involved than the pumpkin roll recipe. I think so. Okay. All right. Almost done with this half. Oh, I almost want to just be like, we'll chop this up later, but we can't. We do. So you need to, again, because kind of getting the butternut squash ready is part of the like prep steps. We need to throw it in the oven while the other things are starting to cook. So we do have to do this first. Now, I was actually like a couple minutes. Cutting gourds is an extreme sport. It is, Mary. Mary, do you have a favorite gourd? That sounds like such a weird question. Such a weird question. Okay, let me show you what we've got here so far. Da-da-da! Okay, you know what? Actually, this is actually all I'm going to chop up because we don't need the whole thing for this recipe. So this guy is getting set aside for later days. I made some pasta with butternut squash the other day. That was so good. So good. Actually, I'm really curious how much this actually is. Oh yeah, I think this is way more than we need. I think I put, oh yeah. This is, wow. This is like, I think this is like 5 cups of butternut squash. And I put an estimate on this recipe of maybe using like 3. Yeah. So, okay, well, let's get it in the oven. So, okay, now I know that normally, like, I'm a big proponent of using butter to grease the pans. I didn't get vegan butter, so I just got some canola oil cooking spray. So, spray the pan. The pan's got like a little bit of stuff on it because this is actually the pan that I used to just bake the squash on. Okay, I'm gonna measure out. And 1 cup. I'm gonna measure out 3 cups. 2 cups. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just do 4, just in case. Again, trying this recipe out. This is the recipe I've created, so you know, it could go a lot of ways. Okay, so there is 4 cups of butternut squash. That's what I'm gonna bake. I'm gonna try seeing how much I need, but yeah, I'm gonna bake 4 and go from there. Okay. The oven's still preheating, so we'll set that there for a moment. So, and I only cut up half the butternut squash, and this is how much I have left. Oof, craziness. Ooh, acorn squash. Oh my gosh, wait, you ate an entire spaghetti squash for lunch yesterday? Whoa. All right, setting our squash to the side. Okay, now I am starting to run out of room if you need any proof of this. So there's all the things I'm going to need for the recipe. And then there's all the stuff that I already have prepped for the recipe. If you're working with a small kitchen, I feel you. I feel your pain. So what I'm going to need to do is take my bread here and I'm going to just set it out on the table there. I set it off to the side. Okay, so I gotta set that off to the side just so I have actually some room on the burners. The oven is heating up right now. So what I'm gonna do is I've got a pan here. Now I actually, at my place in Philly, I actually have like a big wok. I would probably use that or a little bit of a deeper pan, but this is all I got to work with here. So that is what we're gonna use to start sauteing the rest of the veggies. Whew, man, this is a complicated recipe. I need another drink. Yum. Yum. Okay, so what we're going to use, let me just take a look at my recipe so I make sure I can telling you all the right things. Okay, we're going to start with olive oil and garlic. Olive oil, onion, and garlic. Olive oil. Okay, I'm going to start off with we're going to use 3 tablespoons of olive oil total. I'm going to just start off with 1. I'm going to set the pan to medium. We'll just let that oil start heating up first. Okay. All right. Need a solid drink break. Ooh. Ooh. Oven's ready. We're gonna throw the butternut squash in. I set a timer for, I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. I think we're gonna do 15 total. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it for 10. All right, so, all right, everyone, I am feeling like I need a quick drink break. So we can get to some shout out info. Also, if you're watching and you haven't checked out my blog yet, it's disasterswithanna.com. Please take a look. I'm posting new recipes weekly. Also, my Instagram is disasterswithanna. And I I joined the TikTok community this week. Oh my gosh. I feel like TikTok has always just had like the most like hilarious videos, and I was just like, I don't know about being on TikTok, but apparently like food on TikTok is just like exploding, and I was like, cool, well, it's a fun way to post like 15-second videos or 60-second videos all about like different recipes, and then kind of point to where you can learn more about them, whether it's my blog or YouTube. But yeah, it's actually like, it's a pretty cool platform. I'm also loving being able to just like add like fun music or effects or backgrounds to everything I'm doing. So my handle for that is Disasters with Anna P, like P as in Peischer. Disasters with Anna was already taken, and I'm very curious about who would have taken that name. I don't know. I haven't found them yet. But yeah, so if you're on TikTok, please give me a follow. Give me a follow on Instagram. If you're watching and you enjoyed this video, please like it or subscribe to my channel. So that's all about me. Then as you guys know, each week I've been, trying to shout out different artists or different creators or projects coming up. And I'm super, super excited this week to be shouting out one of my very dear friends and one of my favorite people, Kyle Hiller. So he has a new podcast out. I haven't gotten to listen to it yet today. It just came out today. So like new. I'm super excited. I love that so many of my friends are getting like really creative and coming out with new podcasts. I've been doing a lot of driving lately. So podcasts have just been like perfect listening companions for me while I'm driving. The name of the podcast is called Sidequest Enthusiast, or SQE for short. So it's a podcast leveling up gamers of color and the LGBTQ gamers. It's hosted by writer, journalist, and interdisciplinary artist Kyle Hiller. And it also features Mina and Anairis. So they are awesome. They're really cool people. They are super nerdy, which I love. I can't wait to listen to all of them. And they talk games and fictional creatures and characters. So it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And you can also find them on Twitter and Instagram at SQEcast, CAST. So all that information is going to be in the description. Also, if you follow me on Instagram at Disasters with Anna and just want to go, check them out quick, check out their page, get a quick link to there. I have them up on my story right now. So, that's kind of a quick way to just like check them out. So, Sidequest Enthusiast. I'm super excited. Kyle has been trying to get me into video games and gaming for a long time. I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to get there. Actually, this week I played, what is it? Just Dance. And it was really fun. It was really, really fun. I mean, now that's dancing. God, I love anything with dancing. But yep. Super excited. So yeah, definitely check out Sidequest Enthusiast if you can. Great. And give them a follow on Twitter and Instagram. All right. So back to the recipe. We have had a drink break. Oof. Thank goodness. I'm refreshed. Mac. You only kicked my ass at Just Dance because I was starting. Yo. Don't get me into my competitive spirit here. Okay, so our oil's all heated. Ooh, I think this is going to be really hot when we throw these onions on. Yep. Ooh. Don't you just love that like sizzly cooking sound though? All right, the onion is there. It's on, like I said, a medium heat. So I have about 6 cloves of garlic here. I'm gonna chop them up quick. I chopped up about 1 like medium to large onion. I'm gonna add the garlic in next, then the celery. And then from there, once our butternut squash is fully cooked through too, we're basically going to mix everything together in like a large soup pot. So I know, Kyle. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was like, Sidequest Enthusiast. It really is. It is a mouthful. It is a mouthful. So it's a bit of a tongue twister. And I didn't want to mispronounce anyone's name. So I'm sorry. I didn't use people's last names. I don't want to mispronounce their names. So I will follow up with you because I want to shout out your podcast again coming up. But I will follow up with you on correct name pronunciations. So I'm not like butchering anybody's name on the internet. But yeah, I'm super excited. Looks like I've got like some driving ahead of me tomorrow, possibly. Even if I'm not driving, I can't wait to just like nerd out and listen. Yay. I'm so excited. It's also like, another thing I will say too, like I love having friends who are doing like creative projects and stuff as well, like especially like just through different mediums, whether it's like listening to them, watching them, reading their writing, seeing their art, it helps me feel more connected to them. I think, just in the US right now and, in particular, and I'm sure it's happening in other areas too, it's just like spikes in COVID and everyone's being really careful. Some people aren't going to be able to see their families this year. I know I'm not going to be able to see some of mine, which is tough. It's nice to have these, kind of mediums and creative outlets to, just feel like you're a little more, connected and in tune with your friends, what they're doing, what they're talking about, what they're thinking of, and just seeing them. And, I feel like one of the best compliments that I got about like this show recently was one of my friends was watching it and like kind of, we're just chatting about it, giving me a little bit of feedback. And, they said that it felt like hanging out with me. It felt like just kind of being in the room with me and getting to like hang out and catch up, that energy was there. So that was a really, really wonderful compliment. And I feel the same way about a lot of my friends who are, creating right now. And it's so nice when I miss them so much. So thank you to, everyone out there who's making cool stuff and talking about important things. I really don't know a lot about like gaming and the gaming community, as I've said, but I'm really excited to listen to a podcast that's also really focused on being so inclusive. That's awesome. So can't wait. Okay, I'm cutting celery right now. It sounds like sounds so freaking loud. Okay, I'm gonna add in my garlic now that my onion has been on here for a little bit of time. Okay, so garlic and onion are sizzling. Gonna add another tablespoon of olive oil in. So they're kind of just getting going. Again, I don't always love vegan butter. Now, if you have a vegan butter or another kind of vegan oil like substitute or something that you really like, you know, absolutely throw that in here. I'm not a big fan of a lot of vegan butters, so I would rather use olive oil myself. But that's just me. Okay, that's 10 minutes. Okay. No. Definitely needs more time. I'm going to set another 5 minutes. But yeah, no, Kyle, I mean, it makes sense. You know, if you're like SQE for short, you know, yeah. Squat. SQE for short, though. That's definitely like, you know, a little easier to say. I will say that. Okay, now the amount of celery that I'm using is the equivalent of about like 3 or 4 stalks. I'm not cutting them too thin. Like that. Little pieces. And you know what? Oh my gosh, there was like a run on the store for celery. I was like, never in my life have I seen all the celery gone at the store. Never. Gross. Oh no. Ugh. We've got a celery hater in here. Got a celery hater. I'm sorry. You could obviously very easily leave out the celery in this recipe if it is not your cup of tea. So I fully support that. Drink break. So is anybody else having a cocktail or drink, glass of wine, beer, cider? I don't know. Hennessy, absinthe, you know. anybody drinking anything today? Okay, there we go. All right, I think here we've got about I think we've got there about like 4 stalks of celery. So okay, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. These are getting pretty well cooked. I'm gonna leave them on for just a little bit longer. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna start doing? Dicing up the spices. I'm so excited. You know what sage almost looks like? I had no idea how sage looked. I had no clue. It almost looks to me like lamb's ear. You guys ever seen lamb's ear? I think that lamb's ear is one of the most beautiful plants, and it's so soft. So soft. I mean, I guess that's why it's called lamb's ear, right? But it does. It looks like soft little ears. It's so soft and pretty. I love touching it. I love I love roses. I love rose petals. I love putting them just like literally on my face. Let's stick my face in a bunch of roses. Okay. So for spices, okay, I'm using fresh thyme and fresh sage. We'll see how that turns out. I know that you could use dried thyme and sage, but I don't think you're going to get quite as good of a flavor if you do that. So just a thought. You're not using any other spices really. So, you know, maybe it's kind of worth splurging. So I just took the sage leaves and, you know, I'm like peeling them off the stalk here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a bunch like this. I'm going to cut off the stems and finely chop the leaves. We need, let me just double check. I think about two tablespoons of fresh chopped thyme and sage. You know, I also found some really interesting drinks with sage too. I've never thought about using sage in drinks. I mean, again, sage, I'm totally unfamiliar with sage and thyme, but they recommended that you could use sage almost in like a very similar drink, like lemon, gin, sage. I love that gin is such a great vehicle for, you know, mixing all these really like herbaceous flavors together. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. See the fresh chopped sage. You know, to be honest, that fresh sage, like it smells like Christmas. It smells like the holidays. I wonder why. Like, I'm not sure why exactly. I'm not sure like what it is that is a holiday smell like that. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Okay, timer. Okay, that's to check on the butternut squash. All right, I'm just cutting the stems off here. These are looking pretty good. Let's, you know what? I think we're gonna take the butternut squash out and turn it about. Just looking pretty good. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Looking for a specific spatula. Ta-da! Looks like I just pulled it out of nowhere. Okay. You know what? I think I'm gonna throw this back in for just another 5 minutes. So I guess we'll say like, you know, it's like a total of like about 20 minutes on the butternut squash. Okay. Ooh, our onion and garlic's getting nice and brown on the bottom. This would be a perfect time to make another cocktail. Okay, so throwing in my celery with the onion and garlic. So we want it to get, you know, kind of nice and sauteed. So onion and garlic is just like a tiny bit brown. You know, we don't want like anything to burn. I'm gonna throw in that last tablespoon of olive oil. And we just want everything to be basically like a bit tender before we're going to put it in our baking dishes and really like leave it in the oven for quite some time. But we still want everything to be a little bit tender so it's not, so nothing comes out like underbaked. Okay. All right, we'll get back to, oh my God, chopping the sage. God, seriously, chopping these herbs, it's just like, it smells amazing. I'd be really curious to look up maybe what other, you know, liquors sage would work well with. I don't know. Because gin kind of already has such a greenness to it, you know? I don't know. Sage is, it's so intense. It's almost like it needs a really simple, very, very light kind of liquor. So nothing too crazy. Okay, what am I looking for? Oh yeah, my tablespoon. Let's see how much sage you've got so far. I cut up a few leaves. Okay, whoop. Okay, there's 1 tablespoon. Okay, so there's a couple more leaves. Then we're gonna be all good. We will mix these in at the very end. before it goes in the oven. They don't need to be sauteed with everything else. I think that would just kind of kill it a little bit. Does anybody else have any like favorite holiday scents? Anything that it's just like you smell this and you're like, wow, that immediately smells like memories or holidays, anything? Also, the more this thyme sits in the drink, the more like the flavor infuses. It would have been a little bit better to shake up the thyme in the shaker when I had an ice cube with it. I think that would have kind of gotten the flavor just like a little bit more intensely. But I did forget to do that. So, okay, almost done with the sage here. Then we're going to move to chopping up the thyme. So I'm just cutting up these sage leaves into really small, just like little strips. Ooh, a wood-burning stove, an open fire, anything smoky. Oh my gosh, Mary, that sounds great. Does your family have like a wood stove or a fireplace or anything like that? Like, is that anything like you've ever had on Christmas? Ooh, or does anybody have any like favorite Thanksgiving or holiday candles? Oh, you know what? One thing I will say is I did not look up how to chop thyme. Oh god, it smells so good. I just can't stop smelling it. It's like crack. I'm like, ah. Okay. To look this up, right? Okay, yep. All right. So we have to take all the little leaves off of this because we don't want the stems. So learning process. Okay, so we don't want any of the stems, so we want all these little leaves, but no stems. Okay, so I think like the easiest way to do that then would basically be like if you take one of these and then you see like all the leaves are kind of facing up, I would just like take the very end. Whoop. Take the very end and go down. Try to like, you're almost like taking the leaves off like the opposite way that they're growing. I feel like that is the easiest way to obtain the thyme leaves. Again, anybody else has any other suggestions? I will gladly accept any further instruction. Oh my god, this would be pretty time consuming. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, you go up to the Poconos. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. The last time I've been actually, have I ever been to the Poconos? I guess once, but like never when I was younger. Never went to the Poconos when I was younger. I did go to oh my gosh, what's it called? It's not the Great Lakes, but maybe it's the Great Lakes. I went to like Seneca Lake. Like camping near there. That was really beautiful. I feel like that's got to be like kind of similar to the Poconos. Okay, literally just getting this thyme. Hey, it's kind of working. It's kind of working. I guess I just want to be careful not to get any stems because, although I mean, if it was really small stems, I guess that would kind of bake in. But no. Okay. Wow. Okay. I can see why I don't hear a lot about thyme because this is a total pain. Thyme is not, I think you hear like a lot of people using like basil and cilantro. That's another one. The fun thing about getting spices, that like, and I end up trying to find like creative ways to use it all up, because you usually end up buying just spices for like maybe one or two recipes, and you're usually left with like this whole bunch. Like, look, this whole thing of thyme, I'm not going to use that. I only need 2 tablespoons. Okay. And oh my gosh. And I never set the other 5-minute timer for the butternut squash. So let's stir around our celery a little bit. Let's check. I'll probably take this butternut squash out now. Yeah, looking good. It's also really fragrant when I pull it out. So I feel like that's another just really good indicator that it's all ready. Okay. We're going to spend a little bit more time with this thyme. Huh. Puns with thyme. Okay. I think got like a nice little pile here. I think that should probably be 2 tablespoons. I'm going to just take a knife and kind of try to chop it up a little bit. It's already so small. And get out any stems I missed. Watch out for those too. Oh my gosh, it smells so fragrant. And I'm like chopping it up as well. Wow. It smells so good. So good. Okay. So got my fresh thyme in here. All right. Let's check on everything else. Okay, yeah, butternut squash is looking good. Yeah, it's nice and fragrant. It's looking like a little moist, on the outside. The celery looks like it's starting to throwing things. It looks like the celery is starting to like really kind of heat up as well. I just got it on like a low heat right now, so that's not too much. I think we need a little bit more time. I'm kind of slacking, but I just didn't feel like. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can literally just take a big bunch like this. If I just kind of like rake my fingers through, maybe I'll get a bunch at a time. Okay, that seems to be working. Okay. Ooh, all right. Hey, you don't have to do every individual step like me. Okay, here we go. So chop a little bit more up. Yeah, I'm literally just like taking a knife and going over the pile of thyme. We'll see how that goes. Boom. Okay, here we go. Spices done. Toss these out. Nothing that I can do with them that I know of. Whew. All right. And now the final step of the process before we throw everything in to bake it. So I've turned the oven down to 350. Then I'm going to get my baking dishes. So I actually realized right before the episode that I forgot to get tin foil. I was going to use like a large 10 by 15 pan and then just cover it with tin foil and bake it like that. I totally forgot to get tinfoil. So thankfully, Grammy has a few containers that are like this that have lids, because you do need to cover it. It's going to get way too dry, I think, without covering it. That's again, because I haven't made this. That's my guess. But you know, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I also have a big container like this, so I might try putting a little bit in both, kind of seeing how it works out. I'm kind of curious. I had planned on putting it something like a little bit long and flatter, like longer and flatter like this. But this is just what I have to work with that has lids. So we shall try. We shall see. So before I start anything else, because I know I will forget, I'm going to take these containers, put some cooking spray in them, because otherwise I shall forget. Okay. All right, great. So, all right, just because I don't want to have to worry about things, you know, kind of overflowing. If I had like a smaller medium, like a smaller pot like that, I would use it. But I'm just going to use a big pot like this. I'm actually going to put it on my, let's turn over here, my bigger burner there that's already warm, where the celery and onions already were. Now they already have a lot of olive oil on them, so I don't think that I should have to add any more into this big pot. Okay, set this off to the side. Then, okay, this isn't too hot. That's not too hot anymore. So I'm going to take my butternut squash. I feel like this was not the smartest way to do this. I'm just doing it. Here we are. So, okay, putting it all in there. So many dishes. Okay, so all the veggies are in there. Next, let me just double check. I've got this all right here. Okay, so then we're gonna add in, bringing back the bread, bringing back our crusty bread. It needs to go in the large pot. So yeah, let's see if we can get in there. It's going everywhere. Okay, somewhat successful. Somewhat. Here we go. Okay. A couple pieces. Here. 10-second rule. Okay, so going in the pot. Next, so I've got vegetable broth. Let me tell you, vegetable broth has been very difficult to find. I've been out of it all the time at the stores. Okay, I'm gonna shake this up. Just making sure how much I need here. Okay, I kind of put an estimate. Again, not sure exactly what I'm doing here, but let's give it a try. So I've got 2.5 cups. I think basically what's best is to have everything, you know, it's like we want everything to be like moist so that as it's baking, you know, it's like all the flavors are really combining as it's going to bake later. So I added in the 2 cups of vegetable broth, and yeah, I definitely think I'm going to need some more. Let's see, I'm going to add another 1/2 cup. Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's looking good. So everything's getting pretty moist now. That looks like enough to coat it. And again, depending on like the size of your loaf of bread too, you might need a little bit more oil, a little bit more vegetable stock. Depending. Wow, this is really starting to smell good though. Yay, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's check here. So, let me just double check how much. Okay, we're gonna do, we're gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I tend to go a little light on, especially salt. I just, you know, I've had 1 or 2 of those dishes that I just accidentally made way too salty, and there's just no going back. No going back after making a dish too salty, in my opinion. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball the pepper because I got this nice little grinder and I love fresh ground pepper. There we go. And let's see here. Yeah, it's a good amount of sodium already. You might want to, like, when you're judging how much salt you're putting in too, you might want to take a look at how much sodium is in the broth you're using as well. I think that would be another good idea. Also, I'm 100% trying to bite of this before I put it in to go in the oven. 100%. You guys know how I feel about taste testing. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, the fresh chopped thyme and sage is just so good. So good. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna like mix this. I'm gonna mix them just up by hand and try not to throw it everywhere. Okay. I'm gonna just kind of dust it in. Mix these all together. Remember, we turned down the oven to 350. It's not at 400 anymore. I'm going to mix in this fresh thyme. Ooh, fresh sage. I'm so excited. So very excited about this. Okay. And now, before we put it in the oven, again, let's get a taste test going here. Just like at least a tiny bit, right? Ooh, that's very hot. It's really hot. Ooh. I will say, it needs a little bit more salt. Still, I'm very glad. I'm glad I did a little bit less than a little too much. So I'm gonna just, let's see. I'm gonna do an 1/8. Let's see how that works. Mix that in. Did I already ask all of you if you have any favorite Thanksgiving dishes? I know I've asked Mary. There we go. Yeah, that's getting there. As far as salt. Tiny bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna say I actually need about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and pepper to really make that work. Okay. All right, we're almost to just, you know, adding it to our dishes. Hey. All right. Ooh, my nose is running. It's like all the heat. Pause for a sip of our drink. All right, I'm gonna spring this in. Pop in the oven. Let's go. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'll show you guys. the finished product, of course, before tossing it in. Oh, this might actually all fit into this one. Yes, I'm so excited. One thing I'm kind of curious about, I'm a little curious about, like, you know, what if, has anyone, I'm curious if maybe anyone's tried this. I can kind of scour the internet as well, but I'm a little curious about, what about saving some just kind of fresh bread to add to this at the very end. Like, I know we were using all this really crunchy bread, you know, but what about, like, you know, some fresh bread? Just add in at the very end, like sprinkle on top or something. I don't know, I might do it. I might just do it. Okay. All right. We are almost done. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Just because I think it would be cool. I'm gonna do some tiny bread crumbles on top. And then maybe a little bit of fresh thyme just sprinkled on top before we toss it in. Just because I think that'd look cool. Okay. And then we are almost done. It's going in the oven. So, like I said before, I think what I'm going to do then in just a few minutes, once I pop this in the oven, is we can wrap up there. And you can check out my Instagram, my blog, my TikTok. I'll, you know, post links to all of that in the description. And it'll be in my, you know, about page on YouTube as well. But I'm going to be posting the final result there because this is definitely like, this recipe still got some time to it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but whatever. I'm just taking a little bit of breadcrumbs. I'm going to sprinkle it on top because I think that sounds cool. Why not? Right? Cool. Just be some toasty breadcrumbs on top. Okay. And then I'm going to do a little bit more of thyme. Just chop it up on top just so it'll look pretty. That's all. Only for looks. Okay. Ooh. Getting a little more thyme here. I'm going to chop it up again too because it just got so fragrant after chopping it up a little bit. Okay. Got just a little bit of fresh chopped up thyme here. I'm going to just sprinkle it on top. Oh my gosh. And she's ready to go in the oven. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Throwing things. Okay, we'll toss that one. Let's just pat this down a little bit. Yay! Okay. Here we go. Let's see how this turns out. I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. Like I said, I will keep my social media handles updated. Thank you guys so much for watching. We did a little bit of taste test here. Oh, wait. Gotta put the lid on it. and it's tasting good so far. Good so far. So we'll see. We'll see once it bakes all through. There we go. And she's in. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And for those of you who are still watching, thanks for sticking it out with me. Cheers. Still got a few sips of my drink left. Cheers. I know I won't be seeing most of you before Thanksgiving or the holidays, so I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving or a wonderful time of rest and reflection and giving thanks with family or friends, or if you're on your own, I hope you make a wonderful day out of it. Maybe try a new recipe, try something crazy, just for fun. We have to kind of all find ways to make the holiday special this year. So cheers. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting all my social media links, and check out Sidequest Enthusiast, the podcast, on Spotify and Apple and let's see, what is it? SQE cast, CAST, on Twitter or Instagram. All right. Thank you guys so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.